Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We're talking this morning with Nolan Draves, the athletic director at SCVi, and Decklan Thomerson, a freshman and two-sport student athlete at SCVi. Nolan, we were talking during the break, and gosh, I love when sports is the topic. My regular listeners know how much Patty and I love sports. We were talking about it during the commercial. Nolan, we talked with Decklan about how he's on the golf team and he's on the esports team, and I know that some of my listeners out there are thinking, esports, that's just video games. That's not legitimate sports, is it? But you were telling me, actually, to the contrary, how legitimized it's become. Tell us a little bit more about the world of esports in high school and beyond.
Yeah, it is rising and rising fast everywhere across the nation. Well, our platform that we use, Playverse, has a partnership with CIF already.
Mm-hmm.
There's CIF playoffs, there's CIF state championships for our esports league, and they're recognized by NHFS, and more colleges are finding these esports players and providing scholarships and wanting them to come to their schools.
Yeah, so kids are getting athletic scholarships for esports. They're getting sponsorships and going professional. It's a legitimate sport, definitely. So you talked about being CIF sanctioned. A lot of families, when I talk about our schools, they ask about the athletics programs, and they ask, are you CIF sanctioned? And if so, are you NCAA approved? And we think about, NCAA, that's college, and we're a high school. So can you explain to our listeners a little bit about what that means to be CIF sanctioned, to be NCAA approved, and then why is that important to families?
Yeah, of course. Yes, our school is definitely CIF sanctioned. We're involved in two different CIF leagues, and that's important because that qualifies as varsity sports. That's what NCAA recognizes as varsity sports. And, if you do want to play sports in college, you need to be involved in a school that is a CIF school, and that's how you're going to get attention and get looked at by these coaches and these recruiters.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember several years back when we went through, it was a rigorous process to get NCAA approved. And that has more to do with academics, doesn't it? They kind of look at our courses and make sure that our kids aren't taking, that old tongue-in-cheek joke that our athletes aren't taking 6 courses of underwater basket weaving and then riding an athletics career into college, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just keeping those standards up, making sure that, first and foremost, these student athletes are students, and their education is number one priority. And, of course, we want them to excel in sports, but we need to make sure they are excelling in the classroom and being challenged.
Right. That's the first part of student athlete is student. You got to be working hard in the classroom. So I heard recently that the CIF decided that unfortunately for fall sports, kind of the window is closed, but for spring sports, they're even going to have postseasons this year. Is that something that's on the radar for any of your teams, or any of your teams competitive enough to be looking at the postseason this spring?
So yeah, they just recently approved a postseason for these sports. I think moving in LA County moving into the orange tier definitely helped with that. But the CIF Southern section approved, and we're going to have some postseason for a few of our sports. For actually a lot of the sports that are happening in spring. We'll see if our school gets there. Our golf season hasn't quite started yet. We've been practicing, haven't had a match yet.
Okay.
And then we'll see how some of our swimmers do. They might be invited, but yeah, it's a possibility. But it is nice to know that there is a postseason for these sports out there.
Definitely. So Decklan, so you guys have been able to get out on the course. You guys have been practicing, but haven't competed yet. Is that what Nolan's saying?
Yes, that is.
So is your team any good? I mean, as you guys are out there knocking it around, do you feel like you guys have a decent shot at competing and maybe going into that postseason?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good, and the people who have just started playing, they went from like having some pretty bad shots at the beginning to having really good ones at the end of practice. So I think they have a lot of potential, and I think we have a pretty good chance of competing.
Okay, so you've got some first-time players out there that are really improving, huh? That sounds good.
Yeah, I think there's 3 of them.
Okay. So now let's step away from sports a little bit and talk about school. I know you also. It's funny talking about how you've probably been on the golf course longer than you've been able to get back in school. But you guys have been back on campus for a week or two now, right? Are you enjoying being back at school?
Yeah, I can focus a lot more. I actually wish I could be able to go all 4 days because that's how much it helps me. I've gotten a lot more work done when in the classrooms than when I'm at home, and it's nice to be back and see see some people and have a reason to get out of the house and have a reason to wake up earlier.
Yeah.
It's just made me a lot more happier and got my work done a lot more.
That's good to hear. Yeah, I know it's constantly a struggle. You know, we'd love it if our high schoolers could be on campus all day, every day, but I think we're still in, what are we, still orange tier, Patty, or have we gone yellow yet? I think it's going to be a little bit of time before we can get you back on campus all day, every day, but we're moving in that direction. So just keep sticking to it. We'll get you there soon. And Nolan, what about you? I know you coach several sports. What sports do you coach at SCVi, and then do you play at all?
Yeah, well, I'm coaching all the sports that we have right now. It is limited, so I'm coaching the swim team and I'm coaching the golf team. I'm also the esports coach, and that's been challenging because I don't play a lot of those games, but it's been really fun to learn all of that. And then we are hoping to have middle school soccer. We don't know if that's going to happen. It's really hard to, again, get these enough schools together to have a season.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I love playing sports myself. I play on a Sunday, recreational baseball league. I've been doing that my whole life. I play in pickup basketball games or a basketball league. It's not going on right now because indoor sports are a no-go.
Right.
But, yeah, no, I love to compete myself. I go out golfing as much as I possibly can. Not too much right now because I have a newborn.
Yeah.
But I love to compete.
You're well-rounded. I mentioned earlier you come from a kind of a long line of pretty prestigious athletes yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about your grandmother? I was reading about her story last night, and she was quite an amazing athlete. Tell our listeners about your grandma.
Yeah, she's a very special lady. We actually named my daughter after her. But my whole family are divers, and my grandfather is a Hall of Fame coach, and my grandmother is a Hall of Fame diver, and she won 2 gold medals in the 1948 Olympics in London.
Wow.
And she won it for springboard and platform. So not only was she the first woman to double gold in her sport, but she was the first Asian American to medal for the USA.
Wow.
And this was right after Pearl Harbor, and Asian Americans were facing a lot of discrimination at the time. I've heard stories from my grandmother and my grandfather that she wasn't allowed to use the pools at certain clubs, and after she would use the pool, they drained one of them, and so it was pretty bad what she had to go through just to compete. But she persevered, and she's a strong woman, and she went to those Olympics in '48 and dominated. And it was really special, and she's very influential for the Asian American community. She has a key to the city in San Francisco.
Wow.
There's actually a park dedicated to her, Victoria Nolan Draves Park. I visited a few times. There's a mural of her here in LA, downtown area. So yeah, she's an amazing woman, and we all miss her. But it's just the way she looked in the air, it was just pure beauty.
Yeah, gosh, and facing such such obstacles and discrimination, but then just going out and winning golds for her country. It's such an amazing story, and if you want to look more into it, again, it's Victoria Manilow Draves, Draves. Quite an inspirational story. In fact, I think she was honored by Google with her own Google Doodle Day, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. She was the doodle one day, and everyone recognized it, and it was really cool. And a lot of people from SCVi noticed it and reached out to me. So that was really, really cool. And she just inspired the whole family. My dad is one of 4 boys. They're all divers. And something kind of local, back in the day, Magic Mountain used to have a diving stunt show.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was my family. My grandfather choreographed that, and my uncles and my father were the divers. And my father and my uncle were high divers, and so big family thing. I didn't quite get that gene of no fear of heights, but I can do a little dive. I can do little dives here and there.
There we go. Maybe an inward dive off of the side of the pool.
I can pull 1.5 off.
Very cool.
I can do that.
I've been in this valley a long, long time, and I remember going out to that dive show. I watched it multiple times. It was fascinating. Oh, gosh, your family was great. And how beautiful that you're able to pass on your grandmother's legacy to your little girl. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much.
So, Nolan, we're getting ready to play a little trivia, and Big T, he mixes in a lot of sports with his questions. Can you stick around for a few more minutes and play with us?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Cool. Then hang on. Decklan, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Buddy, you keep your head down, keep your eye on the ball, okay?
All right.
And Decklan, that's good advice, brother. Not just for golf, but in life, man. Keep your head down, keep your eye on the ball. And you stick around, too. We're playing trivia when we come back. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley, and you're listening to your hometown station, KHTS.
The shows must go on. The Main in Santa Clarita is your destination for free online music, theater, art, and entertainment opportunities. Tune into fun variety nights, join a talent show, learn from filmmaking experts, attend a modern play, and more from the comfort of your home. For more information and to view upcoming events, go to facebook.com/themain.newhall or at themain.org. Enjoy the shows.
Introducing Oakmont of Valencia, Oakmont's second luxury senior living community in Santa Clarita. At Oakmont of Valencia, you'll have access to full-time assisted living services provided by compassionate staff in the privacy of your own home. Oakmont's Diabetic Wellness Program offers assistance with monitoring and managing glucose levels, meals, exercise, and activities. Oakmont of Valencia offers a fully equipped wellness center and concierge medical program, allowing outside physicians to visit on site. Discover the care your loved ones deserve in a resort-style setting. Visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside. My slippers come with an exclusive 3-tier cushioning system that you won't find in any other slipper. It combines 2 layers of foam, including my proprietary My Pillow foam and a patented impact gel made from U.S. soybeans. My 3-tier cushioning system is going to help relieve pressure points, provide that micro support you need for all-day comfort, and help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high-quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll ever own.
Go to MyPillow.com to receive 40% off the My Slippers when you use the promo code KHTS. or call 1-800-973-3927 and make sure to use the promo code KHTS.
No contract pest control. Did you hear that? Yes, Unipest has no contract, low impact, affordable, and environmentally and family-friendly pest control options with orange oil or other family-friendly products. Whether it's ants, spiders, gophers, termites, or bed bugs, Unipest Termite and Pest Control has an effective, eco-friendly option for you. Call Unipest today for a free orange oil inspection at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. As we were coming back in, Engineer Patty says, all right, 10 seconds, get your game face on. I hope you at home have your game face on because it is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. You all know Big T. He is a longtime resident and leader in the Santa Clarita Valley. He's an executive and a philanthropist. He is the quintessential family man and community member. And he celebrated Jackie Robinson Day yesterday by throwing the tennis ball for his dog Duke exactly 42 times. He is Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
What's up, Matty?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I got a little bit of baseball trivia. I got some spring trivia.
Okay.
Looking forward to some fun today.
Okay, so we explained the rules to Nolan off the air. Nolan, athletic director from SCVi, is joining us today. He's going to play along. The rules for you at home playing don't apply. You don't have to shout out your name. Just call out the answer if you know it, and feel free to hit us up on Facebook if you beat us. All right, let's go.
All righty. Who holds the Major League Baseball record for hitting safely in 56 games?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Is that Lou Gehrig?
Incorrect.
Dang.
Anybody? Joe DiMaggio.
Nolan.
Sorry, Nolan.
Oh, okay. No. I would have said something else, so that's
okay.
Good. Just keep going.
Why did Babe Ruth wear number 3, and why did Lou Gehrig wear number 4?
Frogger.
Because
back in the era when they played, you were numbered by your order in the lineup.
That is correct. Nice job, Frogger.
Oh, boy.
All right.
It pays to be old,
True
fellas.
or false?
Patty.
True.
It is true.
Yes, on the board.
Mostly during the spring season.
Say that again?
Tornadoes occur mostly during the spring season.
Okay, thank you. Good job. that knowledge base that is Engineer Patty.
Who were the Nationals before they moved to Washington, D.C.?
Oh.
Nolan.
Nolan.
Montreal Expos.
Yep.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Best hats in baseball. Where did the pineapple plant originate?
Frogger. Hawaii.
Incorrect. Country of South America. Who was the greatest running
Wait.
to ever
Did you
play?
just say the country of South America, Tony?
No, not the country. It's in South America. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Just all over. Okay.
The country of South America.
All right.
Country of South America. Sorry. I was going to say, you don't need to give me a country, and then I blended it together. Sorry.
Right.
Who was the greatest running back to ever play at San Diego State University?
Nolan.
Marshall
Falk.
That is correct.
Oh, that's right.
What type of dog is Handsome Dan, the mascot of Yale University?
Frogger.
Is
he a bulldog?
He is a bulldog. The Yale Bulldogs. How many American presidents have been assassinated while in office?
Frogger.
4. 4 is correct.
I was going to guess that too, actually.
Yep. True or false?
Patty.
Original name, Patty.
False.
That is incorrect.
Frogger.
No.
Frogger.
I'm going true.
True is correct. The original name of the search engine Google was Backrub.
That's creepy.
That is creepy.
Right? Isn't it creepy? In which country are cherry blossoms a sign of the beginning?
Frogger.
Patty.
Frogger.
Japan.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, the nerd
Name
in
an
me
animal.
was screaming for that.
Right. Name an animal that hibernates and then wakes up in the spring.
Patty.
Patty.
This is a bear.
That is a bear.
Let's go.
What two sports star at San Diego State also has the baseball stadium named after him?
Oh.
Nolan. Tony Gwynn.
T. Gwynn is correct.
Hey.
I feel like some of these are built in against me.
Maybe so. Who won the 2021 Masters?
Patty.
Oh.
Patty.
Hideki Matsuyama.
That is correct.
Let's go. I mean, I was watching it.
It was last weekend.
It was last week.
Third place finisher in the Masters, Xander Schauffele, is an alum of what Mount West Conference school?
Oh. I don't know
Nolan,
where he went.
this might be up your alley. Go ahead.
I think Arizona.
Incorrect.
Frogger.
Is
it San Diego State University?
Yes, it is.
Yes. I did not know that. Oh, man.
I should have just put 2 and 2 together on that too.
Right,
I could have
right.
jumped in.
Hey, what does the term spring chicken mean?
Frogger.
It's
the younger of the group.
Correct. You're the youngest.
Yeah, that's true.
April showers bring what?
Patty.
Mayflowers. Right. What do Mayflowers bring?
Frogger. Pilgrims.
That is correct.
Oh, come
Joke right there.
Does that actually count, or is that just a joke?
Well, Nolan's a new dad. We got to get him up to speed on his dad jokes.
I guess so.
Right. Who was the only person ever to hit a home run and score a touchdown in the same week?
Oh, Frogger.
Deion
Sanders.
Deion Sanders is
Neon
correct.
Deion.
All right. Fast money round. Associate these words together. Sparky Anderson, Leo DeRocher, Joe Torre,
Frogger.
Tony La Russa. Frogger.
Those are baseball managers.
That is correct. Walter O'Malley, Frank McCourt, Guggenheim Group, Fox.
Frogger.
Those
are baseball ownership groups or owners.
More specific?
Okay. They owned the Dodgers?
That is correct. All owners of the Dodgers.
All right.
The El Paso Chihuahuas, the San Antonio Flying Chanclas, Lake Elsinore Storm, Durham Bulls.
Frogger.
Nolan.
Frogger than Nolan?
Okay, so I'm going minor league baseball teams.
That is correct.
Okay.
All righty. True or false?
Patty.
Patty.
Let's go with false.
Incorrect.
No.
Nolan. True.
Nolan. It is true. Baby goats each have unique accents.
Hang on, Tony. Okay. What was true?
Baby goats each have unique accents.
Really?
I didn't even know that. I would have still said false.
Well, apparently Nolan knew it.
See, I could have figured it out, but every time I ask them, they just faint and pass out and go off.
Exactly. They get scared of you.
Right.
Because you're not thinking in the right accent.
Right.
All right, Matt, name these baseball terms. Oppo taco.
Oppo taco? I don't know.
Anyone? That's an opposite field home run. Sorry, Nolan.
Nolan, did you know that one?
I thought it was registered on that. Oh, yeah. Oppo taco, opposite field home run.
Okay, we're giving it to you.
All right, we'll give it to you. Can of corn.
Frogger.
That's an easy fly ball.
That is an easy fly ball to catch, correct. The Mendoza line.
Nolan. Batting average 200.
Batting average of 200 or under. Very good.
All righty, Big T. We do have to get out. I got to say, man, I roped you guys this morning. But thanks for popping by. We appreciate it. Nolan, thanks for checking in with us. Good luck out there on your spring sports. We really appreciate it. We will be back after this. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
When you look at your child, you see so much. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. A little leader growing to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make the world better. At SCVi, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free TK through 12 charter school provides boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a learning program customized just for your child. Today, that means empowering your child to bring strengths and passions to the distance learning environment. Our approach keeps your child and family in step while online, inspiring your learner to keep growing without missing a beat. At SCVi, your child will find even more ways to grow with projects and activities in STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. With the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, SCVi produces graduates who excel at top universities and in life. For enrollment information or to learn more about our distance learning program, visit ileadsantaclarita.org. iLead Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
These days, it's hard to figure out how to fill all the self-isolation time, let alone figure out what to have for lunch or dinner. Salt Creek Grill owner Greg Amsler is helping us out in a big way. Salt Creek is now offering takeout and curbside pickup, so you don't even have to get out of your car. Their entire menu is available for pickup or delivery, including to-go beer and wine. Hey. In addition, Greg's offering wine at 25% off, along with daily specials. If you'd like to buy a gift card for a future visit, now's the time. Buy a $50 gift card and get $10 extra on the card completely free. Buy a $100 gift card, you get an extra $25. Salt Creek Grill, located next to Regal Cinema at the Valencia Mall. For more info, go to saltcreekgrill.com.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com. or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Mend Cryotherapy is open. As always, they continue to clean and sanitize all equipment. Social distancing will be enforced and hand sanitizer will be provided throughout the facility. Temperature checks will be done daily on each employee, and masks will be provided if forgotten. They have amazing welcome back specials, including the $99 performance package, which includes a cryo session, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, which boosts recovery of damaged cells, the aromatherapy oxygen bar, Nucom, and infrared sauna. There's also a beauty package with a cryofacial, infrared sauna, and more. And don't forget their extensive selection of health and wellness products, including CBD. Mend Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, go to MEND, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com. Mend Cryotherapy on Newhall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
Let's be real. Most everyone dreams of having a space to call their own. A she shed, a man cave, a workshop, even a home gym. Ulrich Barnes is the place to fulfill that dream. Ulrich builds custom sheds tailored to your specific lifestyle. Each space is built with premium level products that meet and exceed building codes, in addition to meticulous trim painting and caulked nail holes, including heavy-duty, theft-resistant door hardware. Ulrich sheds and barns are built to last a lifetime, even in the extremes of California weather. Whether you want storage, a place to put your horses, or a private place to call your own, Ulrich has you covered. Check out Ulrich's brand new showroom, located behind Denny's on DeLone Street, off the 14 Freeway Sand Canyon exit. Open 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. For more information, including payment plans, go to ulrichofcalifornia.com. That's ULRICH of California.com.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 9 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
An epidemic of violence. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's how the White House describes shootings in the U.S. after last night's massacre in Indianapolis.
The president has spent his entire career working to address gun violence, and his determination to act has been redoubled by senseless killings we've seen both in mass shootings like this and in the lives lost to the epidemic of gun violence every single day in communities across our country.
Spokeswoman Jen Psaki says there's urgent need for congressional action on measures some Republicans criticize as unfair to law-abiding gun owners. It's not known yet who that gunman was at a FedEx facility near the Indianapolis airport where 8 people were killed. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more live.
Lisa, we also don't know the identities of the 8 people who were killed. Marion County Deputy Chief Coroner Alfarina McGinty says they're getting help identifying those victims.
Pulling in all of our staff that are available, calling people from other jobs that have to come in and assist, as well as surrounding county coroners.
7 others were hurt, one critically. Officials say the shooting started in the parking lot. There was no confrontation or argument that led to it. It ended with the gunman taking his own life, and so far no motive has been given, Lisa.
Thanks, Tanya. COVID numbers in the U.S. heading in the wrong direction.
Our 7-day average is up to 69,500. Nearly 70,000 new cases per day.
CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says just 4 weeks ago that 7-day average had fallen to about 53,000 cases per day. Hospitalizations also rising along with deaths. Federal health officials continue to urge masks, social distancing, and vaccination. Some COVID vaccine makers already studying possible booster shots in clinical trials. The Tokyo Olympics, postponed by COVID, still aren't a sure thing for this year. Today, Japan's prime minister will be the first foreign leader to have a White House visit with President Biden. America is listening to Fox News.
Saturday, April 24th is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Help keep prescription opioids out of the wrong hands and reduce the risk of diversion, misuse, and abuse. When your opioid medicine expires or you no longer need it, please dispose of leftover medicines at a drop-off location as quickly as possible. For more information or to locate the Take Back Day location closest to you, go to DEATakeback.com. This message is paid for by Purdue Pharma.
I hate Tom's Tulip Shop. It just smells so flowery. Like we're good at your flower shop. You don't need to remind us.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
I needed a fake plant. They don't sell fake plants. Thanks for nothing, Tom.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial, auto, and business insurance.
Then he says, have a great day. I'll decide what kind of day to have.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
Advisors to the CDC will meet 1 week from today to give an update on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Dr. Rochelle Walensky says the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices needs more time to evaluate reports of blood clots after doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
To review any additional cases that might come in, and for them to conduct a complete risk assessment and to evaluate the emerging science.
Dr. Walensky says health officials are working to ensure supplies of Pfizer and Moderna shots are robust, as all Americans will be eligible for a shot this Monday, April 19th. 6 women in the United States developed clots after getting a Johnson & Johnson shot. 1 of them died. Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
The first plea deal just confirmed out of hundreds of criminal cases stemming from the deadly January breach at the U.S. Capitol. Court documents show John Schaefer, an Indiana native and founder of the band Iced Earth, is expected to plead guilty. His lawyer agreeing with prosecutors that he did enter a restricted area on January 6th. Florida moves to toughen penalties for anyone caught rioting or destroying property.
Florida passes a new bill stiffening penalties for people arrested for violence or destruction in the midst of what otherwise might be called protesting. The bill passed along party lines with Republicans supporting it, like State Senator Danny Burgess.
It's about ensuring the voices of the peaceful who are fighting against injustice the right way never are drowned out by those who seek to sow further division.
Democrats wholly oppose the bill, saying it would lead to arrests and prosecution of peaceful protesters in the vicinity of rioters. In Broward County, Florida, Eben Brown, Fox News.
More records so far on Wall Street. The Dow's up 99 points. The S&P also extending yesterday's new highs, but the NASDAQ is lower. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The Dow and S&P are adding to their run-up after Thursday's record close.
Bitcoin down a bit today to about 61,000 after one country rolls up the welcome mat.
Turkey banning all financial payments using cryptocurrency, and that does include Bitcoin. So that actually dragged on Coinbase, also dragged on Riot Blockchain, Marathon.
Fox's Susan Lee. The IRS plans to start distributing the new $3,000 child tax credit authorized under President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus plan beginning in July. And Morgan Stanley tops earning estimates on better than expected trading and investment banking results, saying its first quarter profit more than doubled and revenue jumped 60% to record levels. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Businesses that run like clockwork establish routines they trust. That's why over 1 million companies rely on Cintas. We'll help you protect employees and customers with essential safety supplies, inspect your fire protection systems and devices, hygienically launder your uniforms, and keep you well-stocked with the leading hand sanitizers and disinfecting wipes. Learn how Cintas can help you open your doors with confidence.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
Welcome to Dunkin', where safety is their #1 priority. The staff at Dunkin' has daily temperature checks and goes through a series of current health questions prior to each shift. They have all the necessary PPE, including masks, shields, and gloves. In addition, every store is sanitized several times an hour for your protection. Use the Dunkin' app for specials and to order ahead. Carry out and curbside pickup is available, or have your order delivered by Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. Dunkin', all-day sandwiches, donuts, bagels, muffins, and of course, hot and cold beverages. Visit Dunkin' on Bouquet, next to Lowe's, or the Dunkin' in Canyon Country on Sierra Highway. The Santa Clarita Valley runs on Dunkin'. Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Should be a beautiful day today. We're looking at mostly sunny skies. Highs in the low 70s, overnight lows in the mid 40s. For anything, everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. Earlier this hour, we heard from Nolan Draves, the athletic director at SCVi, and one of his student athletes talking about SCVi sports. And speaking of sports, a little bit later on this hour, I want to talk about one of the local high school mascots. There's a bit of a controversy about whether or not we should be changing one of the high school mascots here in town. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now, my next guest is Vice President of Marketing and Community Outreach at the Child and Family Center. Cheryl Jones has been with the center for more than 20 years and is responsible for all fundraising and communications activities, planning and executing campaigns and events, donor and funder relations, developing and executing marketing and communication plans, and working with the board of directors. Cheryl is passionate about the mission of the center and works every day to bring awareness to the community through a multi-channel approach of community outreach, communication, and stewardship. Cheryl has her BA in journalism and certificate in advanced professional development in fundraising and institutional advancement from Cal State University at Northridge. She also is a matador, just like Nolan last hour. Cheryl, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for joining us. So first, let's talk a little bit about the center, and then we'll talk about this amazing event that you're putting together next month. Tell us a little bit about the Child and Family Center. Who do you guys serve, and what services do you provide for our community?
So Child and Family Center has actually been in the Valley for 45 years, starting as a very small nonprofit. Today we serve over 900 people every month. That's ranging in age from toddler all the way through adults. Basically, we have three key areas of service. One is mental health. So those are for children or adolescents who are suffering with behavioral issues, anxiety, depression. All of those have been increased dramatically during the pandemic. We've seen a huge increase in those kind of issues. So we've really been an important resource for the community during the past year. And we've been able to provide the services via telehealth. So we had to shut down the campus for the most part for in-person visits, but we are seeing those people and continue to provide them help.
Now, I can imagine that gets a little bit more complicated. Have you heard from your clinicians at all? How is the telehelp doing? Do they feel that they're able to meet the needs of your clients, the people you serve?
So it's kind of it's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge for the therapist because they're not getting that one-on-one in-person treatment with their client.
Yep.
So it's very difficult for them. It's difficult for the clients too because maybe they're in a house and they don't have privacy, so they're not comfortable sharing what they're feeling because other family members can hear.
Yeah.
But they have managed to, again, we are helping so many people, and it's, like I said, it's really more important now than ever.
Yeah, and I think we've seen it in a lot of industries. I'm sure your therapists have done it too. The ability to adapt to the constraints that we're under. I'm sure they've developed systems to work with people. Yeah, I can only imagine, if you're talking about difficult situations going on at home, but you're kind of trying to find that deep corner in the bedroom to sit on the phone and talk. It can be difficult. So let's talk about outreach. How do families find you, folks that are struggling and have these needs? Are there organizations in the community that refer patients or people to you, or is it more of just a community campaign? How do your people find you?
So they are teachers refer them, family members, or law enforcement often. I didn't mention that we provide domestic violence services, which again has increased dramatically. The number of calls that sheriffs are reporting have gone up dramatically, but unfortunately, the calls to our hotline have decreased. And again, it's going back to they are basically captive in their home with their abuser, and so they can't make that phone call for help. So it's really a bad situation. But we do help those folks. We do have a shelter, so that emergency shelter. So if someone is really at risk,
in imminent danger,
hurt, exactly, we will make arrangements for them to go there, and they stay there with their children for 30 days and go through treatment things and group therapy.
Wow, 30 days. So you've got full wraparound services. You've got counseling. You can provide a place to go and be safe for whole families. That's fantastic. Now,
yeah, it's amazing.
So my last question, I talked about outreach. Are you guys also able to reach out yourselves directly to families that you're aware of that are going through things? Like, for example, our community experienced another tragedy yesterday, and today there are 3 precious boys who have lost their parents. In situations like that, I know it can be delicate, but do you guys reach out to offer care in those types of situations?
So we can't contact clients directly like that. So in other words, we can't reach out to the family and say, hey, but we do, make our services hopefully the community is aware that these are there.
Mhm.
Obviously, we want to help those. That is a tragedy. But we did, one other thing we do is we respond to trauma within the community. So in the Saga shooting, we had a whole team that went out immediately and provided intervention, and then continued with support groups for all of those students and families that were affected.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't realize that, but I had a son and a niece who were enrolled at Saugus last year, and so thank you for that. Thank you very much. And I can imagine you guys work very closely with law enforcement, with the hospitals, things like that, and get referrals as
Yes.
different tragedies and situations roll out like that. Okay, that's great. So I wanted to ask, with all the services that you provide, it's been in the news recently, the approval of the expansion at Henry Mayo. Some community members have been calling for a residential mental health facility for teens here at Henry Mayo. Is that something that would complement your services, or would that be kind of in conflict? How would that change the dynamic of the services that you guys provide?
So we do. I didn't mention that we do have a crisis intervention team on staff.
Okay.
So when an adolescent or a child is threatening to harm himself or others, they call the center. They come in. They're seen immediately. Often those are brought in by law enforcement. So they stabilize the crisis, and then if they are not able to go home and continue with outpatient therapy, they go into a 72-hour residential, just to keep them safe.
Right.
But unfortunately, there's nothing in Santa Clarita for those services. There's no residential, so they are often sent like an hour and a half, 2-hour drive away,
Yes.
which just further impacts the stress on the family because they want to go be with their child, but it's so far away. So I think it would be wonderful if they could have something close by.
Yeah, definitely. And the services that Henry Mayo already provides, medically and otherwise, are fantastic. I'm sure they would provide top-notch care there as well. That would be a great complement, I guess. Oh, great opportunity for us to mention. You talked about crisis support. If families are going through something, whether it's with themselves, with a spouse, with a teenager, and they do feel that they need the support of your services, how would they get a hold of you, Cheryl?
So there's two ways they can contact us. One is directly calling our main number, which is 661-259-9439. They can also, if they're in need of domestic violence services, we have a 24-hour DV hotline, and that is 661-259-HELP, H-E-L-P. If they are in need of alcohol and drug treatment, they call the main number, 259-9439. Or if you're more comfortable doing it via the Internet, we do have a Get Help Now form on our website where you can fill out and someone would contact you immediately.
Okay, fantastic. And producer Sarah has dropped that website in the chat on our Facebook Live broadcast, but it is childfamilycenter.org. Childfamilycenter.org. Fantastic. Now, I believe you guys receive county reimbursement for some of the services you provide, but not all of them. You rely pretty heavily on charitable donations. Is that correct?
Yes, so we have contracts with the state and the county, Department of Mental Health. We are the designated agency in northern Los Angeles County for children's services for mental health.
Okay.
But unfortunately, those contracts don't cover all of the services that we provide. So we rely on the support from community members to supplement those unrestricted dollars.
And that's where you come in. That's why your job is so important. This has been a really tough year with all the restrictions on public gatherings and the things that we can and can't do in the community. How has that affected your ability to sustain services this year?
So it has been a challenge, but we have a group of volunteers and a committee that we get together and we brainstorm and think outside the box. How can we make this happen? And what I noticed this past year, more so than in many years, this community was amazingly generous. We had so many donations. Every time we put out there, please help. Here's ways we can help. They stepped up. It's a great community. I'm very, very pleased with it.
That is really good to hear. But speaking of charitable donations, I do want to talk about an event that you guys have coming up. Taste of the Town. I keep saying Taste on the Town. Taste of the Town. It's always been one of my favorite events of the year. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk about this fun and delicious event. Cheryl Jones, Vice President of Marketing and Community Outreach at the Child and Family Center, joins us this morning. You won't want to miss what's next. You're listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Are you looking for educational flexibility and choice? Look no further than your front door. iLead Exploration's independent study program is passionate about personalized learning. Our mission is to inspire learners to become creative problem solvers, compassionate leaders, conscientious collaborators, and responsible citizens who develop a lifelong love of learning. Our families partner with a credentialed teacher to customize each child's educational path. Families access community partners to choose a variety of in-person, online, and at-home options to create an optimal learning environment for each learner. Our program also values community, and through a variety of field studies, service projects, park days, and family gatherings, we provide many opportunities to foster friendships. Because there are currently in-person limitations due to COVID, we are offering activities online through webinars and virtual field trips. iLead Exploration is a tuition-free, independent study charter school program serving grades TK through 12 in Los Angeles, Orange, Kern, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties. To learn more about our program, visit iLeadExploration.org. iLead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
If you need help at home or at the office, call Made For You. Made For You is a locally owned, bonded, and licensed cleaning service with over 20 years of experience. All employees are vetted for your protection. No need to buy products or equipment. The Made For You staff comes complete with everything needed to make your home or office cleaner than ever. Hire Made For You one time, as needed, or an ongoing basis. No room is off limits. Laundry and ironing services are also available. Call Made For You for a free estimate. 255-2922. That's 255-2922.
When you look at your child, you see so much. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. A little leader growing to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make the world better. At SCVi, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free TK through 12 charter school provides boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a learning program customized just for your child. Today, that means empowering your child to bring strengths and passions to the distance learning environment. Our approach keeps your child and family in step while online, inspiring your learner to keep growing without missing a beat. At SCVi, your child will find even more ways to grow with projects and activities in STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. With the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, SCVi produces graduates who excel at top universities and in life. For enrollment information or to learn more about our distance learning program, visit iLeadSantaClarita.org. iLead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Santa Clarita Valley residents now have greater access to the excellent physicians and high-quality medical services for which Providence Holy Cross is known. Providence Holy Cross Health Center in Santa Clarita features state-of-the-art cancer and imaging technologies, as well as board-certified physicians in a variety of medical specialties. Quality and compassion from a healthcare provider you can depend on. For more information, call 1-888-HEALING or visit us at providence.org.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. We're talking this morning with Vice President of Marketing and Community Outreach at the Child and Family Center, Cheryl Jones, talking about the invaluable services that the Child and Family Center provide to families that need care. One more time, if you or a family member or friend is in the need of domestic violence care, if your teen is having trouble, if you and your family need support, give the center a call at 661-250-9439, 661-250-9439. They also
Actually,
have...
it's 259-9439.
I'm sorry. I
That's
mistyped
okay.
that one. 259-9439. Thank you. And they've also got a 24-hour emergency line, 259-HELP. 259-HELP. Thanks so much again for joining us, Cheryl. We do appreciate it. We talked before the break about how the center took a bit of a hit last year due to the inability to host fundraising events, and that provided some significant challenges. Fortunately, our community is so generous and stepped up to fill the gap as much as possible. But your keystone event of each year, Taste of the Town, has been a highlight of the spring calendar in the Santa Clarita Valley for years. It's been one of my favorite events for a long time. Those of you joining us on Facebook Live can see why. You weren't able to host the event last year due to the pandemic, but I read yesterday on hometownstation.com that Taste of the Town is returning. First of all, Cheryl, can you tell our listeners about the event? What is the idea behind Taste of the Town? What is that event all about?
So it's our biggest fundraiser, and it's normally in past times, it's a huge garden party, and where the community comes together outdoors. There's live music. There's local restaurants and providing samples of their food. Unfortunately, we can't do that this year. So we felt like we want to help raise money to support the services of Child and Family Center and the children that we help, but in turn to give back and support those restaurants that have supported us over all these many years of Taste of the Town. So we came up with an idea of a drive-through event where you buy a ticket and you get a $25 gift card to your choice of, if you buy the general admission, which is $75, you get a $25 gift card to your choice of restaurants, and there's 25 to choose from.
Oh, great.
So along with that, you get a gift bag that has $85 value in coupons and discounts. So basically between the $25 gift card and the $85 in value, you're gaining money, but you're still donating to Child and Family. So, and then the VIP ticket is $125, and you get 2 gift cards and that same value. So you're basically getting your money back if you use all those coupons. And at the drive-thru event, so first I should tell you the date, right? It's Sunday, May 2nd.
Okay.
And it will be on the campus of Child and Family Center in Santa Clarita. And it's from 12 to 4, so anytime during those hours you come by, you drive through, and you get your gift cards in your bag. And then we will have a DJ, Silver Tunes Entertainment. So as you drive through, you'll listen to the music. There'll be some dessert people there passing out samples that are prepackaged. So there's Clarissa's, there's Susie B's, and there's Laco Taco, which is a new restaurant in town, the La Cocina.
Yeah.
It's a catering, but they're doing tres leche cake, which is amazing.
Oh, man.
So if you decide to stay, you can park your car and get out, and we'll have some tables socially distanced so you can at least enjoy kind of like a mini Taste of the Town.
So I love that. So you've got 2 options. It is a drive-through event where you're going to drive through and you get your gift bag. I have to say, Cheryl, I absolutely love that, because that was always something that fascinated me about your event, Taste of the Town, is how much the restaurants were giving. Folks were coming out and providing samples of their different foods. And we're not just talking about, they bring out, a cake and provide you a little bite. My brother and I would run around that event. And, they got tri-tip over there. Oh, they're doing spare ribs over here. Did you get your sushi? It was, we would just absolutely make gluttons of ourselves. And then, of course, you had places like Wolf Creek that were providing their the beers that they would brew and things like that. It was just an awful day as far as my diet's concerned, but absolutely entertaining. But now that our restaurants have been been hurting themselves this year, and with staffing and things the way it is, you guys are now kind of flipping the tables a little bit and then helping support them during their time of need. I absolutely love that. So we can drive through and pick up our bags, or we can drive through, pick up our bags, and then park and stay and enjoy a little bit of dessert, enjoy a little bit of entertainment. You said you had Silver Tunes Entertainment. Is that the driveway DJ guy?
Yes, it is.
Oh, he has been
So he's
fantastic.
experienced in this kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, he is great. We love him. So tell us a little bit about, because like I said, I've always enjoyed going to the event. Can you tell us a little bit about the history? Because it's had a really interesting history, the different places that your event has been held. How long has Taste of the Town been running, and how did it get started, and what are some of the other locations that it's been held at?
So the event started, I believe, in 1989, and it was put together by an auxiliary group that we had at the time, and it was held at the Pyru Mansion. So that was owned by the Newhall family, and it stayed there until we moved it to the Castaic Lake Water Agency above Central Park in 1998.
Oh, that's right.
And
I
we were
remember
there,
that one.
and so that was really beautiful. And then in 2004, we had the opportunity to move to what was then the Man Biomedical Park in Valencia, and it's been there ever since, and we'll go there next year, hopefully, if things are back to normal.
Okay, great. That was my next question is, were you planning on moving back there? So you talk about some beautiful locations for a spring entertainment event. The Pyru Mansion, up above at the water agency above Central Park is they had a gorgeous outdoor area. But as your event grew up there on the Rye Canyon Loop, what a great space they have. Just this lush grass with trees hanging over it, and just a huge space for you to host pretty much whoever wanted to come. So again, this year you're hosting it at your location just because of the orange tier, yellow tier, whatever tier we're in restrictions. You guys have got to do something a little bit different this year. I want to make sure that we got the date right. My producer Sarah's whispering in my ear saying that the website says that ticket sales end April 30th.
Right, so the event is Sunday the 2nd from 12 to 4. We can't do day of tickets because there'd be no way for us to provide those gift cards.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
So we need people to buy tickets. I would like to mention that we're also doing an online auction, which is open to everybody. You don't have to be present to bid, and we have some really great items on there.
I forgot about the auction.
And Cabo San Lucas and Sonoma at like a winery, and it's there's a lot of cool things. So if you go on the website tasteofthetown.com, you can click on auction, and there's a link there where you'll see all the great things.
I almost forgot about the auction, Cheryl, but that's always a highlight of the event as well. You guys get some great packages, like you mentioned. That is wonderful. Again, tasteofthetown.com. You guys have got your own website. That is fantastic. So people go on the website, they can order tickets there, but they have to order in advance by April 30th, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Just so we have time to, get the cards.
Sure. So no day of. I know in the past the event you've allowed for day of purchases, but again, due to constraints, make sure that you get on tasteofthetown.com and you get your tickets early, April 30th. Gosh, that's only a couple of weeks away. So sit down, chat with your family, make sure you figure out how many folks are going to be in your group, get signed up. Again, they're going to be having a drive-through event where, Cheryl, did I hear you right? The gift bags that you guys are providing are actually have a higher value than the cost of entry.
Yes, so by the time you include the gift cards and the coupons, you're paying less than what they're worth. So
wow.
And we're excited to be hosting it here because we felt like it would give the community an opportunity to see Child and Family Center and to learn a little bit about what we do for the community and all the services that we provide.
Yeah, to see where your donations are going, become a little bit more aware, like you said. It's a great idea. I think that's something that you guys might think about incorporating even in future years when we're back out up above Rye Canyon there. But Yeah, I think that's just a terrific. You talk about a win-win, right? It's you're giving to an amazing and important cause here in the Value. You're actually getting back more than you're giving, and you guys are supporting local restaurants, as where in the past the local restaurants had supported this event. So just, I guess we would call it a win-win-win, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's kind of how we planned it. And again, you have to do what you can do. Think outside the box and just cross our fingers that it'll be successful.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that the community will step forward and support it.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the different companies that are going to be out there, Laco Taco, and they're going to be delivering their Tres Leches cake if you want to stick around for dessert. And it's just going to be an amazing event. Pandemic adjusted, but an amazing event like it always is, I know. Now, one more thing that I don't want to forget about, Cheryl. I know that Bank of Santa Clarita has been your title sponsor for years, but by no means are they your only kind of big dollar sponsor. Some of our community's most prominent businesses sponsor this event. If there are business owners who are listening or managers that are listening to the show that might also like to get involved, is there still time, and how can they get a hold of you to sponsor the event?
Yes, yes, they can. And you took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say, and I want to mention our sponsor. Bank of Santa Clarita has been our presenting sponsor, oh my goodness, at least 10 years, probably more. And they're joined by Sand Canyon Country Club. But there are a number, if you go on our website again, and you'll see all of the sponsors that have stepped up to help support. If there is a business out there that would like to be part of it, they can call the main number at Child and Family, 661-259-9439, and ask for me, Cheryl Jones. And just a little shout out to Carl and Jerry. They have supported this. Jerry's actually chaired this event a few times, but they've supported us in our efforts.
Well, I didn't realize
many years.
I didn't realize that Jerry had chaired the event. Look at her, just changing the world very quietly back there in her office. Fantastic. That is good to hear.
Yeah, that's Jerry.
Well, Cheryl,
dynamo.
Cheryl, we do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for all you and the rest of the team at the center do. We will see you at Taste of the Town. And again, one more time, go to tasteofthetown.com to get your tickets. You've got to get them before April 30th. You have to pre-order this year so that they can have your goodie bag and everything ready for you, all the different things that you're going to receive. So again, go to tasteofthetown.com to get your tickets very soon. Thank you very much, Cheryl. We will talk to you real soon.
Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Coming up, we're going to be talking about a controversial team mascot right here in Santa Clarita. We will check in on that discussion, and we want to get your input as well. So stick around. This is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm your host, Matt Watson. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS.
You just had an accident. Now what?
I'm Caesar from Body Shop 661. After you get into a car accident and call your insurance company, chances are they're going to send you to a cut-rate auto body just to save themselves some money.
So, what do I do?
Call me at Body Shop 661. Your car will get taken care of as if it were my own. No second-rate parts, and the job isn't finished until it's done right. Body Shop 661 handles all types of vehicles, foreign and domestic. Plus, I work with all insurance companies.
Locally owned and operated for over 20 years. On Ruther, just past Home Depot. Call Body Shop 661 at 251-2252.
If you've ever dreamed of having a space to call your own, now you can turn that dream into a reality with the grand opening of Ulrich Barnes in Santa Clarita. Saturday, April 24th from 10 to 4. Join KHTS as we help celebrate the newest location of Ulrich Barnes of California. Delicious food, tons of great raffle prizes, and lots of family fun. Get a quote and you're instantly eligible to win a 58-inch Samsung 4K TV. Tour a variety of structures guaranteed to fit your needs and your budget. Whether you want a beautiful she shed, a home gym, a man cave, or just some extra storage space, Ulrich has you covered. Located on DeLone Street off the 14 freeway at Sand Canyon. Go to ulrichofcalifornia.com for more information. That's ULRICH of California.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley, and I am your host, Matt Watson. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Joining us now, we've got producer Sarah on the line. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Matt.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Sarah, we wanted to have you on because I know you've got an opinion about our next subject, and it's something that I wanted to talk about, and it's interesting. It seems like a lot of folks around town, whether they are directly connected or not, have a pretty strong opinion about what we're going to talk about. We're talking about one of our local high school's mascots, the Hart High School Indians is their mascot. It's been their mascot since the high school's inception. And I want to just get our listeners caught up on the story in case you're not as familiar with it. It's been an issue with sports teams around the country the last few years. The Washington professional football team in the NFL recently changed their name. They went from their longtime name, the Redskins, and it seemed like Daniel Snyder, their owner, for years had really dug his heel in, even amidst great pressure. But that almighty dollar does exert its power, right? And when he started losing sponsors, he agreed to change the name to. It's funny. He said it was a transitional name, and they just changed it to the Washington football team. And I love looking at the box scores, the way it gets abbreviated. It always cracks me up. And they recently said they may be hanging on to that name for a while. And there have been calls to teams like the Cleveland Indians, the Atlanta Braves, to change their names. Now, those teams and plenty of others that have mascots that represent Native Americans have changed the visual representation, but some have been reticent. And in sports and in life, tradition is something that people hold in high regard, and certainly understandably so. But at the same time, there have been pressure there's been pressure from some groups to have those teams change their name. And again, under this venue falls our own local Hart High School. And so there have been calls. There was a petition circulated requesting that Hart High School change their mascot from the Indians to, well, something else. Recently, Superintendent Mike Coleman was quoted as saying a concern has been shared by community members regarding the propriety of the Hart Indian mascot. Our board has taken a proactive and thoughtful approach to gather input from the community. And what they did is they obviously received input from the community. They circulated a survey among staff and students. Mm-hmm. And they actually got, Sarah, they got quite a bit of input. Let's see. They surveyed 180 staff members, or I'm sorry, 128 staff members were surveyed, and right about 50% voted to keep the mascot, and another 38% chose to change the mascot. And then, of course, there's that, 12%, 15% that really had no preference. And so you've got about 50% that have voted to keep the mascot. That's staff there at Hart High School. They also, because a lot of folks say, yeah, but what do the students say? Right. Well, they surveyed the students, and they conducted a survey among 1,343 students of just over 2,000 students. So they reached a good portion of their student body. And again, just about 50%, 49% of the students said keep the mascot as the Indian. Another 26% voted to change it, and 25% had no preference. So again, about 50% staff and students voted to keep it, which when you factor out those that had no preference, kind of was the majority there. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The district also took some time to listen to tribal leader Rudy Ortega from the Fernandinho Tataviam Band of Mission Indians, and he expressed his concerns about the representation of Native Americans as mascots. So, but here's kind of the rub, right? It's become tradition. We're talking about the oldest high school in Santa Clarita. They opened their doors in 1945, wanted to kind of honor the Western heritage of their namesake, William S. Hart. Did so at the time. Now, this is my take on it. I didn't find anything in writing as to why they chose the Indian.
I know why.
Do you?
Can I tell you?
Yeah, jump in.
And I actually think this is really kind of neat because it's very similar to like what we did at SCVi. They let the students decide.
Oh, cool. I
so in 1945, the students voted on what their mascot. I read that in one of the recent articles because, like you, I have been following this story. So the students did choose the Indians, which like you were about to say, I think. It was a different time. It was 1945, and I think you would be very hard-pressed to find anybody that lived in 1945 that would think that a mascot of the Indians was in any way offensive.
You're absolutely right. And when choosing a mascot, especially for athletic competition, you want something that's fierce and strong and going to strike fear into your opponents, right? So it's much more frequent is, the bears or the lions than is the, banana slugs or the squirrels, right? So that's kind of the way you look at a mascot. You want something that's inspiring, right? And so it's become tradition. And in fact, our second high school in town, Canyon High School, actually based their mascot off of, so our rival is going to be the Indians. Who are we? Well, we're going to be the Cowboys, right?
Exactly.
And so now you've got tradition, which is really important. And then there's also the idea that this mascot was by no means intended to disparage any ethnic group or any individual, but to honor them. Well, I'm talking about intentions, not the result.
Right. And I've definitely seen... some images that people have shared of the depiction.
So that's another thing, right?
Was very common in the 1950s, 1960s, up into the 1970s, that would make anybody angry today to see. But like we were saying, this was a different time than it is today.
And I appreciate that, Sarah, because that's something that a lot of folks do mention is that you have to understand the context of time. Mm-hmm. Well, so if that's what we're going to take, we have to make our present decisions in the context of our present time. And when you talk about, this was intended to honor, not disparage, let's look at the folks that it intends to honor. They're not necessarily feeling it, at least from the representatives that the school district has heard from, right?
Correct.
So it kind of comes down to this multiple choice question that I'll throw at you, and then Sarah, feel free to add another option if I'm off base here. There are folks that say, look, it's tradition. Let's use it as an opportunity to educate our kids. Certainly, let's make sure that the depiction is respectful, but this is tradition. Let's keep the mascot. And like I said, sounds like that's what at least half the staff and half the student body at Hart High School wants. There are others that say, hey, it's 2021. It's time to change it. This is not okay to basically caricaturize a group, an ethnic group of people, especially the noble people that settled this land in the first place. So you've got the traditionalist that says keep it. You've got folks that say no, it's time to do what's right and change it. And then you've got the folks that would say, you know what? Let's let the people in direct contact decide, meaning the majority of staff and students, which is what I think the district intended to do by taking this survey. So Sarah, where do you fall on this? Do you fall in one of those three categories, or do you think there's a fourth category that I'm missing?
Well, I mean, I do think that there is a fourth category.
Okay.
I will say that. I think that the other information I've been hearing from a lot of people who are talking about this is that when you've got a small group or a group that is perhaps being oppressed or marginalized, their voice needs to be lifted up and valued ahead of others, because this is their, in this case, Indigenous people have spoken up and have communicated with the Heart Board and with the community at large to express their concerns.
Okay.
So I think that there's that option. And then other things that I've heard as well is about, can we flip this? Can we make the Heart mascot, the Indians, be something that we do use to teach our students and our community about our in this area, it's Satavium, our Indigenous peoples that come from this area. I will say that I think that that's a very wonderful idea, and I think that people in their hearts are trying to be incredibly empathetic. I'm not sure that you can take something that has been offensive, and like I'm talking about some of the things that the depictions that were used a very, very long time ago. I'm not sure that you can take something that has been so offensive in the past and rebrand it in a way that makes everybody feel comfortable.
I get what you're saying. I also worry about, and I certainly appreciate that. I would worry about, well, if you're going to take it and use it as an opportunity to educate, I don't know, maybe it's because of the time that I grew up and went to school here in Santa Clarita. I remember individuals in my classes who were the one and only representation of their ethnic group in our class, and were often asked to speak as a representative of their entire race, of their entire ethnic group. And how, I mean, we're talking early 80s. As a young child, I was uncomfortable for them. I can't imagine what those poor kids were going through when being asked to do that and not knowing how to necessarily navigate those seas comfortably without, you talk about a 9-year-old calling their teacher to the mat on something that would be inappropriate. I worry that using this mascot to educate the kids would become something akin to that tokenism, right?
It could be. I mean, it's so complex. It's so challenging. And then, like you have brought up major leagues. Like I remember very clearly, watching the World Series and how popular the tomahawk chalk was. For the Braves, right?
And they still do it in a lot of cases. Same thing with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Very, very hard over the years, the Atlanta Braves, that we're not going to do that anymore. That's not going to happen in our stadium. We're not playing the music anymore. And there, been concerted effort to train the fans. I don't know the name of the stadium that the Braves play in, but to educate their fans so that they no longer do that. So that's a wonderful step of progress. I'm very glad that the Braves ownership, took that responsibility and did that. But they are, they're still the Braves. They changed their imaging, like you said.
Yep.
And same thing with like the Redskins. My mom's from Virginia. Like my grandfather was a diehard Redskins fan, and I remember in the 70s the debate. That debate started so long ago, and it took almost 50 years, or 40 years before they finally decided to change it, which I think is a good thing, because it's obviously. I'm aware just from visiting my grandparents and watching a lot of football, with my grandfather, that debate existed in the 70s. And so if people have been fighting for that, culturally responsive representation for that long, I think it's time that we listen, that, voices are not being heard for how many years. But I understand the tradition. I understand that it's hard. I get that people want, how difficult can it be? I come from this area, but like, how difficult would it be that, high school was so important to you? You really, when you think of your mascot, your high school years. It gives you all the warm and fuzzies.
Yeah.
You think about all the wonderful things that you experienced, how terrific it was that school spirit came together around a mascot and your football games and your baseball games, and now people are telling you, oh, it's not so great.
Well, yeah, and you're right.
And you're not taking away those memories, but there is going to be an emotional response if somebody says, your memories ain't so great.
Well, you get emotionally connected. You heard me probably a couple of times on today's show alone call out the Matadors from CSUN. Right. I'm a Matador. I'm a Centurion. I went to Saugus, and if Saugus were to change their mascot, I'm not sure how I would feel about that. I was listening to another show earlier or a couple of weeks ago when one of the high schools in Burbank changed their mascot, and one of their graduates was a little upset about it. I do get it. My stance is this, and we want to know what your stance is. If you've got an opinion, go ahead and just drop your thoughts on the Facebook live chat. If you're listening to the podcast, you can pull us up on the Facebook live. Although it wouldn't be live, you can pull us up on the podcast archives on hometownstation.com. And drop it in the chat. We'll get it there. We'd love to hear your input. But here's where I shake out. If it's a significant concern to people, especially the people who are directly referenced, then it needs to change, and it's obvious that is the case, right? Because that's not what our schools are intended to do. We've the last decade or so, we've had such a push against bullying in our schools. How can we make a group of people feel bullied by the very representation of our school? So again, we do want to hear your stance. Go ahead and drop it in the Facebook chat on the podcast. We do have to wrap up right now. It'll be interesting how it shakes out, Sarah. But just remember, folks, it's good to have traditions, but not all traditions are good. Be thoughtful, friends. This is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station. Thank you for joining us.